Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to insert sound into your PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so when you know which slide it is that you want the sound to appear on, click on that slide, then go over to the insert ribbon at the top, and all the way to the right you have sound. Click the arrow below the speaker and you see there's four options, four ways of inserting sound. You can record sound by clicking here. You can get sound from a CD in your computer. You can get a sound file from clip art, and you can also choose a sound file like an MP3 file or a recording that you've already done that sits on your computer or on a disk somewhere. Okay, and we're going to choose the first because that is actually the most commonly used, but any one you choose, the steps after choosing are pretty much the same. So we're going to click sound from file, and here we're just going to click one of my Cat Stevens songs, Father and Son. That's a good one. Click OK, and you're going to get this dialog box over here. Okay, how do you want the sound to start in the slideshow? So Excel is asking you, do you want the sound to start automatically? In other words, when this slide that we're in, slide 4, starts, or when we get to that slide in our presentation, this sound will automatically start playing if you choose automatic. And the other option is when clicked, and this option, as it is described, is when you get to the 4th slide in your presentation, you'll have a little icon which you can place somewhere, which you'll see right now, that when you click on that icon, then and only then will the sound play. So this is an important choice here, because this will give you more control here of the sound, but this on the left automatically will, let you maybe sit back and let the presentation kind of run itself. So it's up to you how much control you want. For our purposes, we're going to choose when clicked. And you see that we get this little speaker over here. Okay? And this speaker over here, we can drag it anywhere we want. And that basically is going to be the thing that when clicked is going to play our audio file. In our case, it was an MP3 file, a music file. Okay? So, the way we can preview this slide, and you see it appears here on the bottom left. Now, I do have a conflict with playing the sound on this computer because of the screen capture software conflicting with the PowerPoint presentation, but I will give it a swing here. Before I do that though, we see when we click on the sound, on the speaker, which represents the audio that we've added, we get this menu system up here. Okay, we get two new options, and I'll click off of it so you can see these two disappear, and when I click on it they appear. So one of the options is just picture tools, so I can make this speaker kind of disappear, right? In my case, I don't want it to disappear because I want to be able to click on it. Unless you can remember exactly where it is, I wouldn't recommend that. And so there's all these kind of options. You can change the color, anything that you would traditionally do to any picture, you have the option to do here. I'm going to leave that as is. Okay, if it's automatic, then maybe you can choose to make it disappear, okay, which this soft edge rectangle does for us. More importantly, the sound tools options. Here we can preview the sound, we can adjust the slideshow volume. So if this MP3, like some MP3s, is a very has a high volume recording, we can make this adjustment here. Okay, it's on medium by default. We can hide during the show, which is another way of doing what we did here with soft edge. Okay, we can loop it until it stops. So if it's a clapping sound that's 5 seconds and we want it to clap over and over and over for longer than 5 seconds, we can have that loop. We can play sound, we can choose that, we can change our choice of automatic or when clicked, or we can even choose here to play it across all the slides. So you can have a song playing throughout all the slides by clicking here. Okay, so we're going to stay with when click, which was our original choice. Then you can choose whether this goes in front of, behind, or wherever of other images that might be next to it on the slide. You can also choose the size of the speaker. These are options you always have with any object in Excel, in PowerPoint, like a text box or a shape or a picture. Okay, so now that we're pretty satisfied with it, let us preview the sound. And as you can see, it's playing Cat Stevens' song. Okay, click that again and it stops the playback. Now let's try to preview this slide in PowerPoint in the actual slideshow and see how it works. Okay, so we'll say from beginning, and actually it's opening the presentation on my next screen. So as I predicted, it's not exactly working as I expected, and so you're just gonna have to trust me on this one, that when you do get to the slide, you will be able to click on the speaker and play back the audio. Okay? So I hope this was helpful in teaching you how to insert sound into your PowerPoint presentation. There's a few options you have to consider, and you have to think exactly what you want and where you want the sound to play back. Besides that, I encourage you to play with it and then preview the presentation by playing the presentation back and see that it works out exactly as you need it to. Okay? So be sure to check out my other Excel, PowerPoint, Access, Math, Stats, and other tutorial videos on my channel. Subscribe to the channel, comment, and also support us by clicking on our sponsored ads to keep these video tutorials free. Till next time, have a great day.